Hello my people, welcome to my channel Mr. Ade Best Predict. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how to navigate around the bookmakers on how you can predict the first quarter basketball game. And with this particular strategy, with just two games, you will be able to predict basketball games and have two odds in generating your two odds. You can just pick two games and you are good to go. So how many odds will you need to get to two odds with just two games? The maximum, or let me say the minimum odds that you can get in the first quarter basketball game happens to be 120 odd, 1.20 odd, depending on what the bookmakers are providing for you. One of the problem that people are facing currently, and it is affecting in basketball game now, is their inconsistency. Basketball game currently, they are not consistent enough to be predicted. So for example, in this particular game, I'll be using first I would like to use this particular match as an example. Naturally, my prediction for this particular game happens to be over 140, but unfortunately, the bookmakers are only giving the market for over 150, and the odd for it happens to be 1.21 odd. Actually, this is betting and it involves human activities, and we all know that human activities is very dynamic, and anything happens in betting. So that's why we cannot have 100% assurance, and that is the reason behind the uncertainty in sports betting. Now, there is one thing I want to do now. For this particular game, I told you guys that my prediction for it happens to be over 140, and they are providing over 150. Now, if you want to predict first quarter in basketball and you want to achieve a very big goal with it, first quarter happens to be a very dangerous strategy, and we all know that, because after the first quarter, there's nothing left. If you lost the game at the first quarter, nothing concern you with the rest of the game. You've lost the game, that's it. But now there is one thing we can do. It is very dangerous, but it is also very effective. First quarter. Now for this game, I said over 140 is my prediction for the total game. But how will you get the first quarter prediction? Here is how you can do it. Assuming the bookmakers are providing the markets for over 140, okay, but we don't want to go for over 140 because of the inconsistency of the teams. Now let us go to our calculator and let's see if the bookmakers will provide the odd for the first quarter prediction that we get. So if I want to predict my over first quarter prediction, I always divide this by 4. And the reason behind the division of this 4 is because in basketball we always have 4 quarters: the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. The first and the second quarter represent the first half of the game. The third and the fourth quarter represent the second half of the game. So we are only concerned the first half aspect, but specifically we are concerned with the first quarter of the game. Now dividing the game by 4, you are actually going to be getting 35. 35 is not actually the accurate point that you can use to predict your game, your first quarter, but it will give you an insight of what you can go for. So in case you want to use this particular first quarter, now we are having 35, and that 35 happens to give us an insight of what we are meant to predict the first quarter as. Now let us assume that we want to predict the first quarter and we are having 35. For me, I can just decide to go for 34, 33, 32, depending on the numbers that you want to deduct from the average points that you are having. Now we're having 35, and let's check if at all the bookmakers are providing anything that is less than 35. So this is the quarter market, and we have the first quarter, the second quarter, and the rest like that. But unfortunately, if we check the market very well, the bookmakers are only providing 38, over 38 as the first quarter market at odd of 1.50. There is one thing that I always want to avoid. I would have advised you guys to go for under, but it is very dangerous because predicting under in basketball first quarter is a very risky attempt to make. So please don't go for under on it unless you have a well assured strategy that you can use on the under. There are strategies on under prediction, but they are very risky. Now we don't our prediction did not meet this particular market. Okay, let's keep that and let's move on to the most to common league in basketball, and the common league that the top league that bookmakers always offer a wide varieties of markets on it. Now let us go to the NBA. So now let's go for the match between Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks. Now the prediction for this particular match happens to be over 215. Had it been that I want to predict the total point for the game, like over 215 and less, anything that is lesser than over 215 after doing my general analysis on the over basketball total points. Now, as a result of inconsistency in basketball, so I want to avoid predicting it as the total points over 200, maybe 14, 213, 212, 210. Now, though the bookmakers are providing the market for 209, though actually I would have go for it, but I don't want to. Now let's assume that I want to use the first quarter strategy. As you guys can see, the first quarter market that the bookmakers are providing is very big. We are having 56 a third of 1.84. Now let's do our analysis of the first quarter point. Now let's go to the calculator. So now we have 215 as the average of our prediction for the total points divided by 4, which means the 4 quarters that always occur in basketball game. Yeah, the first and second, I told you guys earlier that it represents the first half, and the third and fourth represent the second half. So we are concerned with the first quarter. But how will you get that? You have to divide it by 4, and the total average point that we are having now is 53.75 actually. So the 53.75 happens to be the average, but not exactly the point that we are meant to predict the game as. We are meant to predict the game as anything that is lesser than 53.75. So that's what it is. Now let's check. As we have seen, the bookmakers are not providing the market for over 53 for the first quarter, and they are only providing 56. And don't forget, I told you guys that anything that is below 53 is what we are meant to predict the game as. So you can be finding predicting first quarter game finding it hard to make, but one thing that you need to just do is to go across the bookies, across the market provided. For example, you can go to the 1xbet. So now let us check the 1xbet platform, and let's see if we can have the markets we are looking for. Don't forget, we are looking for anything that is below 53.5. Okay, let's go to the basketball. So the NBA, that is Indiana, Pacers and New York. So this particular book is they are even making a something that is even more less. You know, don't forget the last time in the previous bookie app that we just used earlier, the minimum point that you can predict your game on happens to be over 2.09. Yes, 2.09. But yeah, the bookmakers are giving further option, but the odd for the market is actually happens to be very ridiculous. So now, but we are concerned about the first quarter actually. So the first quarter market that we are having now, they are able to provide us what we want, which is 50.5. Don't forget, anything that is below 53 is what we want, and the bookmaker, this particular bookies, they are providing it for us, and that's what we'll be using in this particular game. So that's how it is. If you are having a problem selecting a particular market in a particular bookies platform, just go across other bookies. We have varieties of styles because different bookies happens to have their the different styles they relate with their audience through their service, or let me say their market they offer. For example, many people know Sportsbet as a platform that offer very big odds. Their odds are very okay, but unfortunately they are wise. They don't offer you something that will be very easy to win. So that is the reason why sometimes it can be very hard to win at Sportsbet. So on one xbet, they are not that very friendly, but they always offer you market that you will have opportunity of at least winning, and they all have their own way of maintaining the winning and the loss of their customers. So guys, thanks for watching. I believe you find this video very interesting, educative, and knowledgeable. So please, if you have any request or you have any question concerning this particular content or something that you want to know, make sure that you drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to highlight your name as at the title of uh, the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this particular channel, so that when I drop the next video, you are going to pick the notification and you are going to see it. So thanks for watching. Like our video, share. Bye bye.